What's going on, y'all? It's AJ, and welcome to Crypto Rich. This is my channel where I do live trading, and you can witness me and learn with me as I trade in these markets, get money out of these markets, and just continue to advance my edge. So anyway, today, as you see in the video, I'm going to show you a very effective way to perform a multi-time frame analysis. As you know, this is most important for any entry that you take, whether you are a swing trader, position trader, or scalper, whatever. You want to know how to perform a multi-time frame analysis. And this is a very effective, simple way and strategy you can use to really gauge what sentiment you have or what bias you have in the market. And relevant to the time frame you're trading, you know what you're doing. So the number one key to multi-time frame analysis is that you want to understand how each chart communicates with each other. So this is where we're going to start. On GBP JPY, we have a monthly chart, and we have all this. First thing I'm doing, just a simple trick that you can use, is when I'm looking at my monthly chart, I want to look at a level that's relevant to price right now, to this price right now, that possibly can show me something, a direction. We look for the higher time frames, or we look at the higher time frames for direction. So looking at this monthly chart, right, this is what I see. First, I see a relevant area right here where price was rejected. So I'll mark that off. Next, I'll see where price is right now and where it possibly can be finding support or resistance. And that's honestly right here. And the easy way to really look at where the closings are, the candles sometimes can be a little confusing, you can use a line. So as you can see, another key level that's relevant would be in this area right here, because it found support and resistance, right? This is a relevant area. So we're going to mark that off, go back to the candle, and we see that we find a nice rejection here. But something that I'm always going to note and use is my Fibonacci retracement. So I'll take it from from my low to my high. And I'll already notice two new levels relevant to where price may come down to find, support, grab liquidity, whatever is going on in the market at the time. And that's these two, the 61.8 and the 50%. So once I have that, also I'll note, you see that there's just one candle out of this bullish move that isn't relevant to this, this move. This also plays as a very, very strong area where there's going to be some possible volatility, maybe. So also you can use this as reference of a confluence of this possibly being support. But what I'm going to look at from here is, okay, it's rejected this area. Is it going to make its way down? Well, I'll continue to break it down on the weekly, and we'll start to see a bigger picture of what's going on. Now, off the bat, this is what I see. I see that it created a lower low, and then it failed to create a higher high. And now it's breaking that low right here. So automatically, I'm going to assume that there's some kind of bearish environment with GBP JPY. Just looking at it like that. A lot of people will bring out the trend line and start all the way from the bottom. From here, I don't really consider that the move. I consider this like this area the move. So I'll do something like this. Then I'll see that it's kind of broken that trend line. But I definitely understand if you are the type of person to make your trend line like this. And the beauty in this is that it's going to result to the same thing. Price possibly coming down to here, right? So we do expect price to come down. Now, that would be my bias at this point, looking at the weekly from a directional point of view. I'm still going to tap into the daily, see what's going on. Boom. So I start to really see what's going on in this market. Number one, I'll see that it failed to create a higher high, and it broke that structure. You see, it was higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low, lower high, and etc. Now it's going down. So automatically what I'll notice is this M formation. And typically with these, you'll expect it to make a retracement back to this neckline, at least from how I trade, I've noticed that. So what I'll do is I'll mark that off just to go and take it down to the 4 hour and see, okay, has it retraced in this area? And as you can see, you know, when it broke this lower low, it pretty much retraced at that area, and now it's coming down. So we could expect possibly another rejection in this area. And this is just how I'm trading. This is how I'm looking at the markets. Now that's already, from this point of view, we can see, okay, we have levels. We know where we want to target and things of that nature. So how can we put this to use? So we have a level here. We have a level here where I'm pretty sure we can agree that we're in a bearish market, but I have confirmations that I'll have, like it's under both my EMAs, and my MACD signal line is below the 0 line. So I'm still in a bearish market. When I take that off, I'm like, okay, I could assess a swing position right here. Just saying, okay, from this area, oops, I'm tripping. First I would look and be like, okay, let me take my Fibonacci from my high to my low, my swing high to swing low, and look at a level that I could buy in on. And it looks like the 38.2 is what I like to trade, and it lines up pretty well with this area of interest right here. So we can definitely look for a position here, you know, a sell position, and depending on where it's finding resistance, we could put it above that level. Let's just say it's above, you know, the somewhere around over the 0.5 or the 50%. We always want to risk 1 to 3. So that's not even to the full target. I mean, really, you want to take it to these targets, and that's even better. But you know, that's how I would assess, you know, this trade as far as the swing trade. And obviously I'd only take this if I seen some kind of confirmation that it's making a rejection like this, some, you know, bullish activity. Now, with that being said, let's just say I'm trading, you know, for the night. I take it down to my 30 minute. I'll just go right down to the 30 minute. Of course I utilize my hour, but I'll wait for my specific times to trade, and I look for a setup. And obviously right now it's 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, and this is not a very volatile time for you to trade. But just for the sake of the video, you know, we already have a level that we could find, and we could see, okay, well, boom, let me put my confirmations on. Right now it looks like price is trying to shift. You know, price is trying to shift at the moment. Now, don't get this confused. For the sake of this video, let's just say there was volatility. We have an idea that obviously price is starting to shift to a bullish environment on a 30 minute, right? We know that we're in a bearish environment, but we still have to make retracements to grab liquidity and make our way down if it's going to be a bearish trend, and vice versa. So off the bat, I'm looking like, okay, there's a lot of area, you know, a lot of support here. Price may break this high, and if it does, I could find some kind of buy in this area, even though I know my overall bias is bearish. I know what I'm doing in the market, right? So I could try to find an opportunity. Now, obviously, this is a 1 to 1.27. This is not what you're looking for, but for the sake of the video, I would look for something like, you know, say price is moving up, down, up, you know, making higher highs, higher lows. It kind of messes up, like, not messes up, but finds resistance here and then breaks through. You know, depending on where it's at, then, you know, I might put it like right under here on a 30 minute. and you know, find a good trade, like do like this. You get what I'm saying? Something similar to this. This is live, so well, not necessarily live, but I'm not, you know, recording anything. But that made no sense. Just ignore that. But yeah, and obviously I enter on a 5 minute. So my 30 minute is what I would look at if I'm just trading for the night. But then I'll enter on a 5 minute, and I would look at something like this. All right, you know, double top retracement. If there was volatility, if you know, after this retracement, and then my bad, after this double bottom, and then you see the retracement back to around this neckline. If you see this break these previous highs right here, boom. You get what I'm saying? If there's volatility, throw in a trade. You already have targets. Honestly, you could target this right here, or you can target, you know, any of these levels. I mean, obviously we have this bigger picture right here. That's a nice trade that you could take if you see confirmations in that area. And you know, obviously as of now, for GBP JPY, you see that the MACD, I always base the MACD if it's below or above the 0 line, you know, this blue line, the signal line, for me to have a confirmation if it's in a bullish or bearish environment. And then obviously I'll look at my EMAs to see if there's a confluence as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it as far as really getting down your multi-time frame analysis skills down, and understanding how the charts will correlate with each other, and how you can basically, if you're looking at it from this perspective, you're always going to have a swing trade, and you can scale in like this and, you know, day trade as well. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned. I'm going to have more videos coming out, and I'll check y'all out later. What's going on, y'all?